So back on campus walking around, and I'm not necessarily here to talk about Pokemon Go today, but rather Pokemon Go during the winter. How you're supposed to play it, or how you even can play it. Because it's a little bit complicated. Right now there's a event where a lot of fighting type Pokemon are spawning. As you can probably see by the gameplay off to my side. And this event, while not one of the big ones, kind of begs the question of how are you supposed to play Pokemon Go during the winter? Because temperatures get really cold. And honestly, probably not the healthiest to be out in the cold hunting down little digital monsters when there are probably some safer ways to go about it. But before I get into that in depth, we need to find somewhere a little bit less windy. So, now that we're in a little bit more quiet of an area, there are several good ways to play Pokemon Go during the winter. It can still be fun, though fun might be a stretch, it can be manageable. First off, the given, wear appropriate clothing. I'm a little bit lucky today. It's not that bad out here. I can wear a coat unzipped. But as we get further into winter, that's going to become less likely, because technically we're still in the tail end of fall right now. But the big thing you can do to still enjoy Pokemon Go is, if you really want to play outside and actually walk around, your first step is going to be getting a stylus. A stylus helps you play the game while still wearing some gloves. Because, most gloves, unless you get the ones specially designed for it, which I don't think even really work that well, gloves don't, you can't touch your mobile screen with a glove. It's not going to work very well. And for Pokemon Go, it's probably not going to be fun. But stylus, while a little bit of a weird way to catch things, works. It works a charm. Now, if you don't want to be outside in the cold, there's another method that you can use that is arguably less fun, but will probably overall make your time a little bit more enjoyable. And it's what's known as the park and play. You drive to a location where you want to be for playing Pokemon Go, and you park and you play the game right there in your car. The other alternative, which is kind of similar to that last one, is the drive and play. No, don't actually play Pokemon Go while you're driving. So you see, Pokemon Go cuts players off at 30 kilometers per hour. That's the fastest someone can go before Pokemon start instantly running from them, and the game basically just says, hey, no, you're going too fast. Don't drive and play. Clearly. But if you can get someone else to drive you around below that 30 kilometer per hour mark, such as a friend, or get on a bus, anything that is going slower than that, as long as you're not driving, hopefully it's going slow enough that you can still play the game without it basically saying, hey, no, stop. Ultimately, Pokemon Go is an outdoor game. So your time playing Pokemon Go during the winter is going to be less enjoyable than it probably would be during the spring, summer, and even early fall. But of course, some of the biggest events happen around winter, such as next weekend, Pokemon Go Community Day like recap event, where all the Pokemon that were featured in Community Days over the past 2 years are temporarily spawning in the wild in mass for Saturday and Sunday during a certain time period. And that's a big day, because if you happen to miss one of those community days, this is your second shot. But of course, the weather is not going to be friends to everybody. So ultimately, it boils down to do what you think is best for you. Obviously, it's going to be different for everyone. Some people are going to be willing to go outside and possibly catch a cold if it means they get that shiny little digital monster. But, for me, I probably won't be playing much during the winter. Not unless I'm with some friends and we're willing to bear all together, or I do the park and play method. But, that's up to each individual.